I'm not sure what this overdrive pedal is. What the heck is that? But it is 100% one of the weirdest overdrive pedals I've ever used. This is the new Distort from Nudist Audio, and it's not your typical overdrive. And when you go on the website, it is very bare bones. New Distort is a completely new kind of distortion. You probably have never heard anything like it. It's meant to give sounds a new life, and it often takes a life of its own. That's literally all it says. I don't want to learn any more about this plugin. Let's just jump straight into the door and see what it's all about. So this is what the new Distort plugin looks like when you open it up. Now, as you can tell, there's a lot of different parameters for an overdrive plugin, but we'll get into it. So on the left-hand side, we have all the distortion controls. We have 4 different types of distortion. Again, I haven't really played with this plugin too much until now, so we're gonna kind of be discovering things together. I'm pretty much going in blind. There's this mode button here, which again, I have no idea what it's doing. Again, we'll stumble upon that ourselves. Mix knob, drive knob, grain knob, and then a dampening knob. We also have delay controls on the right-hand side of the plugin. So 4 different types of delay. Again, you can see the GUI is changing as I pick it. I'm not exactly sure what the types of delay are, but again, we'll come across that eventually. Sync button to kind of sync with the BPM in your DAW. We then have a mix knob, time knob, whether it's free time or synced, abnormality knob, which sounds a little bit weird, and a feedback knob, which actually tells you to be careful when you turn it up. So I'm sure that's going to be a little bit interesting. On the bottom of the plugin, we have global parameters for tone, pi law, whatever that means, and buzz. And then we also have gain stage controls for input, output, as well as the overall mix of the entire plugin. Right now, I'm just going into the Archetype Plenty plugin on the default patch, and this is what that sounds like. And that's pretty much as stock as it gets. We are then turning on the new Distort in front of that plugin, and let's have a little bit of a play around. So this is what it sounds like when you just turn it on. So not much drive happening, but there seems to be a little bit of delay. Yes, so the delay is at 100%. Let's just turn the delay off down completely, and let's just look at the distortion side. So I'm gonna turn this mix knob up just a tiny bit, and I wanna cycle through these different types and see what they're doing, right? Fairly thick sounding kind of distortion. Borderline fuzzy. Let's go to type B. Let's try that again. That sounds a little bit more traditional, what you typically expect when you're turning on an overdrive, maybe with the volume a little bit lower. You're getting that kind of like upper boost in the upper mid-range, kind of taking away some signal because again, you're turning an overdrive pedal on, you're cutting out a lot of low end, but fairly articulate. What about C? It almost sounds like there's like a cocked wah plus it, like the start of a flanger on at all times. Very weird, very unique kind of sound. If I turn the mix down, maybe it might be a little bit more digestible. When you turn it up, it just sounds like you're deep frying it. Let's put it back to around 45% and let's check out D. Very fuzzed out, and it's not really playing nice with the noise gate. So that is probably the most extreme distortion out of all of them that we tried so far. Let's see what this mode switch does. So let's go back to A. Okay, so I guess that just deep fries it a little bit more. Let's see what these delay modes are doing. So let's turn the mix up on the delay. I'll turn the feedback knob up as well. Let's turn sync on. Okay, cool. So we're getting some feedback there. Sounds like the delay is really strong. Like I'm at 37%, but it feels like, you know, the delay trail is almost louder than my playing. So let's turn that down a little bit. That's better. God, I wonder what it's like when it's at like 90. Okay. What's this abnormality knob? I wonder what this does. It's almost like it's choosing when it wants to kind of use the delay trail or not. Like it's very temperamental. I guess it'd be kind of cool if you were using it for like a random effect or a random guitar layer when you're songwriting and stuff like that and you want that unpredictability. What about this delay B? Sounds a bit more digital. Okay, what is this pi law? What is that? Let's go back to the default preset. Let's just do something a little bit more conventional, right? I just want to see and hear what this is doing. Whoa. Not exactly sure what it's doing. It sounds like it's really just like adding a little bit more feedback, which is cool. Let's go through some of the presets, and I think they're aptly named, yeah, minimum weird, medium weird, and then maximum weird. So let's go on minimum weird. So we've got classic distortion. So this is probably what you typically expect, right? What else we got? We got undersea cable. Ha. I love how creative these names are because it pretty much encapsulates what it sounds like entirely. If that's medium weird, I wonder what maximum weird sounds like. Let's go with wobbly wonka. What the heck is that? It's definitely sounding wobbly, that's for sure. Sounds like a roller coaster. The notes are like barely distinguishable, but again, I don't think that's really the point. I think the point of this plugin, for the most part, is to kind of just kind of be a little bit creative in the sense that you don't really know what's coming if you just twist some random knobs and press some random buttons, but hopefully it inspires to kind of like use these sounds in a songwriting context. Like I can imagine like an intro of like a Thorley, like really metalcore-y kind of song, just having like this noise, or maybe something a bit more dissonant, like just having some like fat riff come in right after it. You know what I mean? Just like thinking about it that way. So yeah, the new Distort, very interesting plugin. I can definitely see myself using it for more production and sound design purposes. As far as like, you know, a typical traditional overdrive, like it is possible, but I probably won't see myself using it in that regard, but I'll definitely be looking at using it, you know, anywhere in some signal chain, using it on synths, using it on clean guitars and just messing them up entirely. Like I definitely think I might stumble upon something by complete accident, maybe just by, you know, using a random preset that's already built in the plugin, but there is something to be gained out of this plugin for sure. If you want to check out this plugin for yourself, you can head over to nudistaudio.com where you can download Nudisaur and have a go with it yourself. Again, just come into it with an open mind, but you might just stumble upon something. Massive thank you to everyone watching, and I'll catch you guys soon. Ciao.